So for the first two passes through the changes to take the A train, I was using primarily basic voicings, but I did add some other colors. I was looking for common tones. Again, even with a simple version of accompaniment, I'm really thinking like simplified chord melody. So starting with a 1 major, or I might add the 9. In the case of a D7, again, if 2 is dominant in any case, we don't want a lot of tension typically over a 2 dominant. In the case of a D7, I can take a very simple voicing like this, but if I have the open E on top, it gives it a nice color and a nice sound. I could also use the open B string. So I'm going from a C major with essentially no open strings to it's just a nice color, and the open strings can work in this case because we have enough time over the 2 chord. Then for the 2 minor, I could simply drop the F sharp down to an F, and then maybe do a G13. And I think typically people go back to the 1 chord, but I might back cycle to give it a little bit more movement and play 3, 6, or 6 dominant, 2, 5. So that just gives a little more movement, and I'm still right inside the C major scale. There's no conflict there if the soloist is not referencing all those other changes. It just gives a little bit more movement. So now we're coming up on the second 8 bars. C major again, it could be this, it could be major 9, it could be up here. And if I'm on my way to the 2 dominant, that's the next change. But I might either play A7 or E flat 7 to create resolution to the 2. So again, there's a little bit more movement there. It can be something something as simple as playing a half step above or below. So if I'm coming from a C major, I can use that open E as a kind of a pedal to get myself there. Strictly speaking, that would be a chord that would work even with that open E string on top if I'm on my way down to here. Then my 2 to my 5 to my 1. Now I'm on my way to F. So typically people might go right to the F major. I might insert a quick 2, 5, 1 in front of the F to get myself there. So that was just G minor. I'm keeping that C as a common tone on top, and then either F sharp 7, sharp 11, or think of that as a C7 flat 5 on the way down to the F. So the G minor to the C7 or the F sharp 7, strictly speaking, are not written into that progression, but I can certainly set up a quick 2, 5, or 5 to the 4 chord. There's my 4. Then I'm going back to the 2 dominant, but I could do the same thing here with a resolution to the 2 dominant, either a half step above or a fifth above, and then 2 minor. And then back to my 1. This is this last few bars is just like the opening of the tune. 1 to 2 dominant, to 2, to 5, back to 1. And that could also be a cycle at the very end of the tune, either 3, 6, or 3, 6 dominant. So essentially what I'm doing is inserting a little bit of movement by playing a half step above or below something, playing 5 over 2, 5, 1, resolving to the 4. And these colors and a little bit of additional tension are not creating any problem for the soloist, even if they're not referencing those changes in their solo.